My name is Sadie Bowles, and I am with American Grassfed Association, and I get the opportunity to talk to producers within the industry and companies that are doing some really cool things, not only for the livestock, but for the land as well. And today I am with BetterFedFoods, Paul and Leonard. And I guess let's just start with introductions. Who you guys are, where you're at, and I guess
Okay.
how you got with BetterFedFoods.
I'm Paul Rosenberger, and I've been working with BetterFed Foods since its inception, same as Leonard. He actually predates me on a lot of this stuff. And what BetterFed Foods does is it provides a supply of omega-3 long-chain fatty acids and DHA and so forth to both beef herds and to other species, pork, dairy, poultry as well. What we've learned is the value of omega-3 that Leonard can talk about to more of an extent. And that's what we do. We do lick tubs. We also do bulk feed and so forth. So that's what I do, as I help with marketing and kind of across the board with a lot of operations. Leonard?
I'm Leonard Underwood. I've been with the BetterFed Food and for a number of years now. And my role is I work on nutrition and I work on product development. And that's what we've done is developed a ingredient that emphasizes the availability and balancing of omega-3 fatty acids in diets. And as Paul pointed out, it can be in all species.
Excellent. Excellent. And I guess just baseline, when did BetterFed Foods get started? And I guess from the inception, was omega-3 kind of the focus, or when did that become the focus?
It started, and Leonard, correct me if I'm wrong, but legitimately about 2012. And what our chairman and founder, Bernie Hansen, who's out of Manhattan, Kansas, discovered was the value of omega-3s through the use of microalgae in feed, along with other ingredients like flax and so forth, that can produce a lot of benefit in animal performance. What we've discovered with algae, and I tend to work with the algae side of it a little bit because that's my background, is that algae produces a lot of different value added items to the daily ration of beef specifically. Omega-3s, like Leonard said, it balances out the 6:3 ratio. So our mission has been to deliver the message of omega-3s, how that benefits animal performance, and then try and get that out to the producers who can benefit from that. So, Leonard, does that sound about right to you?
That sounds about right. Back when I first joined, the base company of BetterFed's Food has been in the food business, and they were emphasizing developing food products that had omega-3 in it and the omega-3 balance in it. That uptake has been slow, but what we found while we were trying to do that is how much it benefited animal health and performance. So that's kind of where it started and how we changed our direction. We still are looking at the food side of it, but we're also recognizing that the animal side of it is as important.
Okay. So, and well, I think I know the answer anyway, but I'm going to ask it anyway, just so that we get anyone that doesn't know looped in. What would you say the benefits of omega-3 are?
The benefits of omega-3, all of us have omega-3 in us right now. The important part of what we do is balance those so that they have a balanced level of all the different fatty acids, omega fatty acids. And there's probably, in essence, about 20 of them, of different omega fatty acids. And what it does in animals is that it helps improve the autoimmune system in animals. It helps animals to deal with the stress of production. It helps a lot in reproduction. And as I say, there's a great value in helping animals stay healthier without the use of antibiotics or any types of medications. In essence, in the case of ruminants, what we're talking about, and all species, but it helps them utilize the feed that they're eating better. It keeps the microflora in the ruminant healthier to be able to utilize what it's eating in general better.
Okay.
What we've discovered too, and I guess most of the producers will know this, is that omega-6s, can produce inflammation, where omega-3s soothe that. So we've learned to balance the 6:3 ratio when we talk about that. It's inflammation against beneficial kind of the fatty acids that can stop that work, like Leonard said, with immunity and general health, animal performance in production. In dairy, it's in milk. In chickens, it's in eggs. And with beef, it's in meat quality. We've learned along that way. As far as reproduction, if I may, I just wanted to show you a slide, and Leonard, maybe you can address this a little bit, that what we have here is, this is a study by Kansas State University. And just so you know, all of our material is, it's data-based. It's data-driven. We work with Kansas State University and University of Maryland, where I'm at, from a standpoint of working with the algae and how that microalgae can benefit the diet and so forth. So we have a lot of academic institutions. And what we've seen, there's a value proposition to all of this, which is that for the Kansas State University, that the average daily weight gain increased significantly. The hot carcass weight, the carcass traits themselves went up a little bit. And like Leonard said, as far as the results of when we look at from a standpoint of producer results, if you look at this is from a standpoint of the starting history from conception rates with Angus beef. And you can see over the long haul, as the producers have used this, that percentage has gone up significantly, over the last 4 years that we've been tracking this. So, Leonard, did you want to add anything to that, or?
Well, I think what I wanted to add when we start focusing in on the grass-fed part of the industry is what we're trying to do is help those or encourage those animals or feed those animals a balanced omega-3 fatty acid. In the summertime, of course, when they're on green grass, it's not as significant. It's still a good idea to balance that fatty acids, but it's those months when they're not on what you could call good green forage or forage that it helped significantly with the things that Paul just talked about. We've done lots of work on conventional feeding, but we've also seen what happened significantly with cow herds that are out on range and how we can improve their performance.
Okay. And you guys led right to it, which is perfect. So the way in which you're administering this, whether that be through the Kansas State study or whether it be through the range herds that you've shown increased production, is through a tub, correct? Or is it also through your feed program?
We developed a feed that was approved for use. We have two sources that it can be used in. It can be used in a dry form, which can be mixed top fed, or we have a tub. We've had a tub approved, which is a 225-pound tub, which is made with the Grade O canola-based product. And that is probably the better and the easier way for producers to utilize it and putting it out with their herds for self-fed type of consumption.
Okay. And now we've talked about two different ingredients. You said the canola, and then we also talked about the algae, correct? What would the ingredients entail in the tub? And then are all of those ingredients aiding in providing omega-3?
Let me just change my direction here a little bit. The tub is made up utilizing the Grade O High Pro canola. It's made up with that. And then there's other ingredients like molasses. The Grade O dry feed is just what was approved. It's a base product that has flax and canola in it, and it's processed together. The dry product that we make is what makes up a large portion of the tub itself.
Okay. And maybe to skip back to Paul's chart, with range cows, well, I say range cows, but producers are using the tubs. How many years was that assessed? And then how much increase are we seeing in pregnancy rates and cows getting stuck, I guess?
It's been an evolution over time, and what we've learned is it's kind of a life cycle situation when feeding this to ruminants, as far as, the mama cow gets those benefits go to the mom through colostrum and weaning, gets to the calf, and then we start adding in on a daily ration. That's supplemented again with the tubs themselves, which are approved by American Grassfed. It's frankly why we're on here, to let them know that. We've seen over time that, and Leonard, what's usually the daily ration when we're using our product, Grade O, in a daily ration?
Well, I mean, if you were making a feed with the dry product, you'd want the animals to consume about a half a pound a day of the dry product in a mix, if you were making some kind of a mix. If you're feeding it in the tub, of course, we're kind of gearing somewhere between 1 and 2 pounds a day of the animal consuming the tub itself.
You'll see that the cattle gravitate to that tub. They know their own systems and their own bodies. So from a standpoint, they gravitate to the tub. Some will use, so an average is about half pound a day is what it comes down to.
Okay,
And
excellent.
you asked Carrie about how long we've been doing this. We've been testing this through some of the work that Paul has showed, but we've always been doing some on-farm testing with some significantly larger herds. It's been about 3 to 4 years now we've been working on this in specific herds that are and measuring the results from pregnancy rates and stuff like that within herds.
Okay. I guess with this testing, are you using this on all groups of bovine or ruminants? But I mean, weaned calves, because you had mentioned the stress level. And then are the cows getting this tub, access to the tub year round as well?
Usually, we like to suggest they use it, that they do it year round, but in a lot of cases, it's before breeding and through breeding, and then back to prior to getting rebred is when a lot of them have used it. But a lot of cases, and it depends on the condition of the pasture that they're on throughout the year. I mean, a lot of places that we've done work with, a lot of the producers have really felt that we helped save their herds because of the drought that's going on right now. And the fact that in a lot of cases, grass has not been really great. It's not been good and very, very nutritious and very plentiful. As it's a free choice for the cows, it's also a free choice for the producers, depending on the condition that their cows are sort of surviving in.
It's worth noting too that we talked about our mission statement, which our slogan is "Better fed land, better fed animals, better fed people." And from a standpoint, obviously, we talked about the animals. We also, and I'll touch on it, is that we also use microalgae in soil amendments, so that we spread that on forage, grasslands and pastures and so forth. And what we've determined in working through the University of Maryland, because of the algae, that there are phytonutrients and so forth that we can activate that give more benefit to the animal as they're grazing. And if you couple that with the Grado Plus, which is our product for feed and tubs, we've seen significant improvements, in the animal performance. So it's we try to make it cycle as well as a full circle, both land and animal. So you're aware.
Okay. And now, see, I didn't know that. So I assume, well, you're just spraying, I mean, I guess liquefying the algae to spray, correct?
Yeah, it's more to it than that, but yeah, it comes down to we use. From a standpoint, it is generally the microalgae that we use, a different type. But what we've seen is historically in Eastern cultures and so forth, they've used microalgae instead of chemicals, NPK, for millennia. And it's worked really well over there. As a Western industrialized society, we're using NPK, and we've kind of gotten into that routine. And what we've seen is from a savings standpoint and from a natural standpoint, we can feed the land as well as feed those animals. Like I said, that's for another time. But I think it's worth noting that we do a full cycle with the animals as we go forward. So.
And now, is there a protein? I mean, what would be the protein content in this tub, if any?
The protein content in the dry product is 30%.
Okay.
The protein content in the tub is 18%.
Okay.
And the fat levels are in the dry product is 21%, and in the tubs it's 8%.
Okay, that'd be phenomenal.
So
As well.
you bring up a really good point, because feeding, the primary design of our products have been for the omega-3 fatty acid complex, but there are a lot of other nutritional factors with the product that can well aid in animal needs and performance, in that it's got a good level of protein in it, it's got a good level of fat, it's got some fiber in it, it's got good levels of fiber in it, and as well as the other factors in it, like some of the minerals like calcium and phosphorus and minerals like that are typically required and needed by, well, all species of animals.
Including equine. Leonard, I know we've tested on horses as well. Provides a lot of cool energy and so forth. So.
Yeah.
And you had touched on it earlier, in use on weaned calves, or whether it be through the ration or the tub, whether a guy would put his cattle or the calves in a confined situation or out on the range, I guess, and just let the calves, once they're weaned, let them graze through the winter, I guess, I'm assuming, if they're May calvers. Now, with that, what would you say in the studies you've done would be the gain? I'm assuming by creating a better microbiome within the gut, they're going to be more feed efficient. So what would you say would it increase their rate of gain by supplementing with this product?
Well, in some of the work that we've done, we typically found this was somewhat producer based, is that typically the calves are being weaned at about 100 pounds more than what typically they had been. And I should qualify that between 50 and 100 pounds, because not everything is the same, but somewhere between 50 and 100 pounds. But as much as anything is that they're just healthier. But typically that's what we've seen as far as improved calf performance when they've been on a omega balanced type of diet or exposed to omega fatty acids.
Okay. And I assume it'd help with hair coat as well, either make it thicker or shinier or.
Well, typically, yes, they do. And I mean, all animals that are based with like ruminants with a hide and hair and stuff like that will show really good. There's a lot of cases where we find there's improved health, and then we talked about equine, better hoof and leg hoof development in young horses. One of the people that have fed it for quite a while for us, and we have found that there's definite improvement, or there's no issues with pink eye. It seems to help either alleviate that problem if it sets in, or not allow it to set in, or there's been some observations on that as well.
Okay. Gosh, I'm liking what I'm hearing on the whole thing, I guess.
I think we've got to remember that this is a feed for all species. Like all mammals require omega fatty acids and have omega fatty acids. You and I, Paul, sitting here, we have omega fatty acids that are within our system, and the dog that might be your pet, or any of the other animals that you're taking care of, and really what we need to do is create a balance. Todd or Paul mentioned the 6:3 ratio, and that's something that we work on constantly, is developing and being able to lower that 6:3 ratio. And what a 6:3 ratio is omega-6 in relationship to omega-3. And as Paul suggested, omega-6 is inflammatory and omega-3 is inflammatory. And basically, to create a healthier scenario, you want to get that 6:3 ratio down as low as possible. And we found that we can do that with utilizing our products.
It's good to know, too, that it's self-evident that from a standpoint of microalgae, when you look at it, it's marine-based. And salmon is high in omega-3 and so forth, because that's part of their diet. We've seen that in fish, so it translates to land animals as well, into human beings. We're trying to get back to some basic tenets regarding how you apply all that. And like I said, we've got the data, we've got testimonials. From an information standpoint, I just want to let you know, because I know it's probably getting close to the end of this. If anyone has more interest in this, they can contact us at info@BetterFedFoods.com. Their website is BetterFedFoods.com. With more information there. But if you do the email to info@, it'll come to Leonard or myself, and we can follow up with a lot more documentation for people.
Oh, absolutely. And before I let you guys get away, you had mentioned earlier too that increased meat quality. Are we talking only of the omega-3 versus, or 6:3 ratio, or are there other means in which you're defining that? I mean, are we talking more tenderness? What other elements are at play?
We've seen in the Kansas State study, for instance, I think, and Leonard, correct me if I'm wrong, but the grade of meat went up about 0.5%. So that there was more premium beef associated with cattle on that diet, as opposed to others that went a control group that didn't. Is that right, Leonard?
That's right.
Yeah. So it's that, it's the marbling, it's the meat quality in general, and frankly, it's anecdotal to some extent. We have a meat scientist on staff as well. He's a PhD. And, he's conducted studies on palatability, tenderness, and so forth, and mouthfeel, all that. And that's partially anecdotal, but what we've seen is people saying that there's no taste difference. I mean, you don't taste that algae, you don't taste any of that. It's just within the system. So the meat quality is enhanced, we've discovered.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Fascinating. That is really neat. And the other thing I want to ask, and I've tried out apple cider vinegar, adding that to my cow's diet. And that's, putting it on the hay and processing it, dumping it in the water, putting it in the salt and having those cows consume. I guess I'm not doing that and trying to balance the 6-to-3 ratio. I'm doing that for the gut microbe through that. And so making digestibility of low quality forage. If I have to feed hay, it has drastically cut my hay expense down. And from what I'm understanding with this too, if you're increasing and helping the gut microbe flourish, would you also see a decrease in consumption? I mean, pastures lasting longer, or just gut health in general? Would that help with that? This product,
From the land aspect, I mean, we have studies we've done as well, sorghum hay and so forth, and some grasses. And what we see is an increase in yield and an increase in protein in that. So the quality of the crop itself gets a little better. We've discovered too, we've seen with the yield quality and the biomass, we've also seen growth in the root structure, which helps with water retention and so forth in the land. So there's a lot of ancillary kind of benefits to what we do. So
no, this sounds
Animals are self-balancing as far as feed consumption. They eat to their needs, and typically what we've found that with the science is looking at and has suggesting that the improvement of the activity within the ruminant is improved and better. So it's getting more out of what it's eating. It's getting more nutrient value out of what it's eating. So therefore, you're probably looking at better utilization of feedstocks that you're feeding.
okay. Yes, Leonard, you nailed it. That's what I was hoping you were going to say. So, no, well, I think we really, really did cover it, and I appreciate you guys. I mean, unless there's something I forgot that we need to add in, I wanted to know what BetterFedFoods was about.
yeah.
And I also don't want to get away without saying that you guys do have this tub available and a dry feed source available, and we're going to talk more offline about what you're spraying or applying to the land with this algae.
Yeah, we do have a developing distribution network, but believe me, we can get the product to you if you want it. And again, just to plug again, it's info@betterfedfoods.com, and we can handle anything you need.
Okay. And the website again?
BetterFedFoods.com. Okay.
Perfect. No, I really appreciate your guys' time, and just thank you for coming on and talking to us about it.
No problem at all, Sadie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.